Rightio legends, it is nearly year end again. What are we, about a week out? I'm going to be busy come the 1st of April getting right into accounting life. It's a pretty busy time for accountants as the new financial year kicks in. And there's no reason that it shouldn't be something for you guys to be thinking about as well, even if you don't have a business. And that's basically, what did your year look like financially? And then what does this year look like for you financially coming up as well? So if you've been digging deep into the Keep the Change content for the last, I think, 9 months now, you should already be familiar with this and hopefully be doing a month-end process to track your progress. And now that we're at the end of the financial year, we're just going to think about things. Again, a good time to reset and think about what we want the next financial year to look like. Obviously, a lot of people plan their lives calendar year, but in business, often the end of the financial year is the 31st of March. And then you start a new financial year from the 1st of April and sort of reset. So it's a time that people are thinking about how they went and how they're going to go in the next 12 months. So I've pulled up my trusty spreadsheet for you guys because there's sort of two ways that you can attack it. And you should already have this from, I think, week 2 was when we first started looking into it in Money Mail. And if we dive into it here, basically in that first page, as we already know, we've got some goals and stuff. We want to be thinking about 30 days, 90 days, 1 year, 5 years, reviewing those, thinking about, right, do those things still fit with what you want to be achieving with your finances, and just setting yourself some things that you can have a crack at. And of course, if you're ticking some of them off, you can add them in here too. I've got a heap of different examples there that may or may not be true, but obviously you should have your own copy of this spreadsheet. If you don't, I can dig it out for you if you need to get a copy, but I would hope that if you've been following this content, you would be doing this already. This might be the kick up the arse that you need to actually get back and look at it as well, because often we do fall off the bandwagon because that's just what we're like as humans. So don't beat yourself up, just get back on the bike and start pedaling the bastard, and that's how we build some balance out in our lives. If we go down to this cash flow here, you would have had to play around in here as well. This is the very simple tool you can use to figure out what money you're going to have left at the end of the month down here. And you can see using these figures up here in this detail, we're going to end up pretty short because this is running a test scenario of saving 40% of the income. So 40% of 6,000 is 2,400. So what this is calculating in this example was basically what money would be left if 40% of the total income was saved. But obviously not everybody saves to that sort of level. But for the purposes of this sheet that's currently there, that's what was being calculated. So then, as some of the people that work through the 5-figure formula, we'd be trying to figure out how the hell we're going to make $1,500 so that we could save that 40%. But anyway, a lesson for another time if you didn't go through the 5-figure formula. Now, over here is what we're going to need to change up, because our position, which is what the bank asks us often if we're going for lending, is basically what assets we have and what liabilities we have. And this is exactly what a business does is at the 31st of March each year. They have to present basically a set of accounts and go through total assets, total liabilities, and build out what's called a balance sheet. And again, from the start of this, there's no reason why you can't be doing that as well. So going back to April and May when we started doing this Keep the Change content, we're right through now a new financial year, basically at the end of next week. So we're going to need this sheet again. So very, very simply, all you need to come down here and do is duplicate it, and that will obviously create the another version, which you can see there. And you might want to rename that to the 2022 financial year. And basically what you want to do is clear out all of this information, because it is going to be irrelevant given that this will be your next financial year. So what I would suggest you do is, once you do your March reconciliation as such, or when you start jotting down what you have at the end of March, you want to fill this in as your figures to remind you when you do come into this that at the end of the 2021 financial year, this is what you had. So let's say that we copy some of these figures over to here. Then that should basically match what that figure is. And then we're going to have some debts as well. We know that that's not true. We don't have a finance card because we paid that off. We've still got a $20,000 personal loan. Looks like we've got $15,000 of loan over there, and we got $16,500 of tax to pay. How yuck is that? But it happens. So basically, what we are doing here is we are teaching ourselves to track progress. So that should calculate you a. Do we have one thing in here extra? This is helping you track your progress. So now we can clear all of this out, because this is going to be the financial year going forward. So anyone that downloads this template going forward will be getting the current version. And at the end of every month, we've already got a calendar reminder set in our phone. And if we don't do it now, at the end of the month, that's how you're going to remember to do it, because humans are forgetful, and so am I. We all are. We've got horrendous memories, but we love to think that they're awesome when really most people's memories absolutely suck. I bet you can't tell me what you had for lunch last Wednesday. See, I told you, get back into it. So in here, you want to be tracking, right, what do I actually have at the end of each of these months? And what we're teaching our brain here is basically that we are making progress. And if not, we can go, well, what happened in that last month to stop that? Because ideally, as the months go on, our total net worth, which is our assets minus our liabilities, is increasing. And that's what the bank wants to be seeing if you're going for borrowing. And that's just what you want to be seeing from yourself as well, that you're actually making progress. And we start to break the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck and feel like we're not actually accumulating any wealth for ourselves. And then we start to get into that behavior of blaming someone else, making excuses, denying, oh, who cares, I'll wait another 10 years, all those types of things that we know we only regret in the future anyway. And as you've read from me before, the only person that's coming to save you is the person in the mirror, and it absolutely sucks. But the sooner you accept that, the sooner that you can start making progress towards achieving some of these things. So basically the key to this is just tracking your progress. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get in the habit every single month of going, right, what do my finances look like? Where am I going? What did I do last month? Did I make any progress? You know, why didn't I? And just starting to learn more about your own assets, your liabilities, your net worth, and just learning more as you go. So don't think just because this seems so simple that there's no point in doing it. It is a very well thought out and easy, simple structure that you can follow to upskill yourself month after month. And I'm sure that you'll start to get into the habit of it if you do it often enough and you actually really enjoy doing it, and you'll start to see the progress, and you'll start to think differently, and you'll start to see things differently as well, because your brain is just more aware and active to the opportunities that are around you and to your finances in general. So get stuck into it. If you haven't already got the spreadsheet, I can send it over as well. So just maybe leave a comment or send me an email, whatever you need to do. As well, coming up to 31 March, obviously tax time. So start thinking about whether you need to file a tax return, or whether you need to include anything in your tax return, or whether you need to go into MyIR and see if potentially you've got a refund that will be sitting there. Most of them are automatic for people on PAYE salaries these days, but it's still important to go in there and just have a look and see what is happening inside your MyIR. So there you go. I knew I'd keep that under 10 minutes. Very, very simple. Didn't want to bore you for too long there. If you're stuck, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you have never seen the spreadsheet before, then ask for it. I can send it over. It's available to anyone to download. You can make your own. You can tell me my one sucks. I really don't care. I just want to see people doing something, because doing creates action. We create momentum, and we start to see results, and then we start to actually make some true progress. So let me know if you're stuck. Otherwise, we'll see you Friday for the next Money Mail. Go well. Have a good week.